Hey everybody out there, this is Story Dude. I'm back once again to read them stories. Let's dig right in, shall we? Am I the a-hole for interfering in the bouquet toss at my girlfriend's sister's wedding? Am I the a-hole for interfering in the bouquet toss at my girlfriend's sister wedding? My girlfriend, we'll call her Maggie, and I went to her sister's wedding on Sunday. It was a great event, and things were going well for most of the evening. This was the first time I met Maggie's mother, but I had already met the rest of the family. When it came time for the bouquet toss, Maggie was one of the ladies in the group to try to catch it. I thought I had an opportunity to be funny and lift the mood, so I stood behind Maggie and slapped the flowers to the ground before she could catch them. I don't know if she actually would have been the one to catch them, but I did it anyways. I was doing it as a joke, which I thought would be obvious to everyone. I was like 0.0001% serious. I'm actually not interested in marriage. I'm in my 20s. I really had no bad intentions and wasn't trying to upset anyone. I thought I'd get a chuckle from the crowd. After I slapped the bouquet to the floor, there was an audible gasp from everyone around, followed by an awkward silence. I was a little embarrassed, but I laughed anyways to try to non-verbally show everyone that it was a joke. Nobody laughed. After a bit, the moment had passed and everyone was starting a big dinner. Nobody talked to me and I was getting a couple sideways glances. Maggie's mother eventually pulled me aside and very respectfully asked me to leave, which I obliged. I didn't want to cause a scene. A few weeks later, my girlfriend and her sister are over it, but the mom still seems weird about it. I haven't spoken to her since then. Was this an a-hole move or was it just a lighthearted joke that was misinterpreted? Wow, the cringe was so hard in this one. I could barely get through get through reading it. Oh man, oh man. Yeah, I mean, Opie, I don't know if you're the a-hole, but you're certainly an idiot. I think and I think you'd even agree with that. I mean, yeah, you have to be so careful with a joke because to other people it doesn't look like a joke when you do that. They look, I don't know. Yeah. I don't blah blah blah. Let's see what the comments have to say cuz yeah, you're the a-hole. It's a tradition that not many people take to heart. It's not an automatic you must be married thing. You made an unnecessary scene and damaged your relationship with your girlfriend and her family. You ruined a possibly cute moment for no reason. Jokes are supposed to be funny, so explain the jokes. Seriously, explain how ruining a moment at a wedding is so damn funny. Yeah, I guess, I mean, I think it could have been funny if he had been, I don't know, if everyone knew him. I don't know. You just have to read the room. I think that with some people it could work, but I think it could have worked with a group of people who are not taking like the whole wedding pageantry and process seriously. But I would say in 95% of cases where people are really into the wedding and making sure all the moments are working out, you know, you can't interfere with those moments. It's like, smashing the cake on someone's face during like during the cutting of the cake. Yeah. So you messed up, OP. It wasn't even that funny. You're the a-hole, and oh my god, I'm feeling the secondhand embarrassment. Absolutely a-hole move, and you're bragging about it to strangers on the internet. Cringe. Who gave me a triangle bear? I guess that's some sort of flair that the commenter got. You're trying to lift the mood? Seriously? It was a wedding, for goodness sake. The mood doesn't get more elevated than that. Yes, you're the a-hole. Now that so at my wedding, and I don't know, I was pretty drunk at this point, so the details are slightly fuzzy, but I do remember for some reason one of my best friends was in the bouquet toss. He's a man, but he was in with the women for some reason, and the bouquet actually fell. It was destined to land on him, and he moved out of the way and let it fall to the ground, which is pretty harsh because his serious girlfriend was there. So I think that was kind of an a-hole move. But trying to think about how people reacted in that moment at my wedding, people thought it was funny because I guess it was odd that for some reason he was drunk and he's kind of ended up being in in the zone where all the women would be catching it. So everyone thought it was funny that that the bouquet fell towards him and he moved out of the way. But I don't know. I still kind of felt a little pang of, oh, that kind of sucks for his girlfriend. But to actually make the step of swatting it out of, that's almost kind of, this kind of like a violent move too. It's a little out of character for a wedding. Anyway, enough of me blabbing on. Just trying to frame the situation, y'all. You're the a-hole, dude. Really? This wasn't even your family, where maybe that would have play if the entire audience knew you and your sense of humor. Your girlfriend's, not wife, not fiance's sister. Way to make this event entirely about yourself. Main character energy at 100%. Yeah, I kind of forgot the fact that no one knew you or cared about you. Yeah. Yeah, OP, you're so bad. You're the a-hole. You took a risk to be funny and it failed. First, what if her sister was throwing it at a particular person? Second, you added about yourself when the wedding couldn't have been less about you. Third, flowers are expensive and sounds like the bouquet was destroyed. Fourth, unnecessary emoji usage. I guess the emojis get lost by the time they arrive to me. 5, apologize and start acting like you're in your 20s and not a toddler who can't handle the lack of attention. Am I the a-hole for laughing in my mother-in-law's face? Husband and I were financially well off in 2019. Stuff turned sour in 2020 when I became jobless after having to homeschool our kids. I couldn't afford the rent. We got evicted 6 months later. My mother-in-law, who offered us 2 bedrooms, backed out as soon as we became homeless, and we ended up living out of our van for 4 months with our kids before a homeless shelter opened up. During said time, mother-in-law had a very little contact with us. Sister-in-law was also tense from us asking to come to her house to shower despite us offering payment. We were looked at like we were scum because we were over the age of 30, had 3 kids, and didn't have our stuff together. We were told how we were going about life all wrong, and that if we had planned better, we wouldn't be in the situation. Coming from sister-in-law mostly, who was given her house after her father died and hadn't paid taxes in 4 years. Fast forward, we were able to get back on our feet times 10. We built a house from scratch with our kids and gained a lot of experience for all of us. It came out perfect. The kids are ecstatic because they built their own house. We are happier than ever, and we started our own business. We did this together without help from any of his family, despite their promises, and I will admit that I grew a nasty taste in my mouth from the whole lot of them, despite the end result turning out the way it did. Well, mother-in-law is down and out currently. She was moved to part-time employment due to her slow-paced work style. Her retirement was taken away apparently after the government stripped it from them, and will likely be evicted soon, as she has already received 2 notices and a lease termination letter. She came here yesterday afternoon and asked us if she could stay here if she became evicted. I will admit that my first reaction was to outright laugh at her and her audacity. She looked immediately offended and uncomfortable, especially after I stated there wasn't a chance of that happening. My husband just stood beside me with his arms crossed, glaring at his mother, as he is very resentful of her allowing her grandchildren to live out of a van and homeless shelter after promises had already been made. Anyway, she left crying after saying the situation was entirely different. Sister-in-law, however, called us later and said that we were effing trash for not allowing her soon-to-be evicted elderly mother to move in. My only response is that a nursing home just opened up down the street and she can go there. However, a few friends say it was kind of mean. Am I the a-hole? I'm going to go with yes, you are the a-hole, but you are entitled to do that. I mean, you're justified in how you acted, but is it the way I would hope to act or recommend other people to act? No. I'm not a Christian, but I do like the idea of trying to act like one at least. Yes, someone did you wrong, and when someone does you wrong and then comes to you for help, I think that's a good opportunity to show an example of how we should act towards one another. And yeah, if you have the means to help a family member, go ahead and help them, even if they did you wrong in the past, because maybe that will help them realize that they need to be better in the future. I mean, not that your mother-in-law has much of a future left because she's elderly, but still no one is past the point of redemption. So anyway, that's my long-winded way of saying maybe everyone is out of line here, but totally OP. What happened to you was terrible and I feel for you, but I would always, hope that people can rise above the situation and try to be good. Not the a-hole. People don't get to treat you like trash and expect to get things from you. It sucks, but she's grown and can figure it out. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the strictly speaking, okay approach to this, but I don't know. I think we could all expect to act better. Not the a-hole. She really made that bed. Perhaps sister-in-law has a room. That's a good point. Mean, yes, but not the a-hole. I always wonder how people have the audacity to run back to the ones they turned their back on. What was she even expecting? I don't know. Well, she said the situation was entirely different. And, all we get is the OP's version of events. Maybe something happened that the OP's not telling us. You never know. It's hard to read. It's hard to read these situations. Not the a-hole. Your mother-in-law and sister-in-law know what you went through but are in denial. Let sister-in-law take her in. I really can't blame you. Now, info. Why didn't mother-in-law ask to live with your sister-in-law? Not the a-hole. What goes around comes around. You are actually lucky that she turned her back on you because now she can't walk over that burned bridge and back into your lives. All right, well that's been it for me here. Yeah. I don't know. I kind of blanked out there for a second. It's early. It's Monday morning. All right. Well, want to wish all of you a great day, and we will catch you again soon. This has been Story Dude. Goodbye.